All right, hello and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to XDEFIANT. By the way, I'm using my PNG thing again. I changed it how it looks slightly since the last time I used it, which was felt like a century ago at this point. But I'm probably going to be using this from now on because I was literally talking about last time about how like I just have to ignore what I look like on camera. But it's, yeah, I like drawing, so gives me an excuse to draw more stuff, I guess. But yeah, since the last video that I made, I've actually been, playing the game more and unlocking most of the stuff. And if I go over to where is it? Challenges, so it's interesting in this game. I think there's 19 weapons in this game, which isn't a whole lot, but it's more than some FPS games launched with. I'm looking at you, Titanfall. But yeah, instead of unlocking weapons through leveling up your like account level, you unlock them through completing challenges and whatnot. And I'm not sure how I feel about this, because some of these are like easy to unlock depending on what the gun is, but where is it? In order to unlock the SVD, you have to get 15 long shots with the other marksman rifle, and I don't even remember what that gun is called because I never want to use it again. But yeah, this is probably the most annoying thing to unlock in terms of unlocking weapons. But yeah, I have everything else unlocked here except for the TAC 50, which I'm gonna work on unlocking in this video. I just need to get one shots with a sniper, so that should be relatively easy. And I have all the grenades already. These were kind of tedious to get, although I kind of just unlocked them passively by playing the game and going for the weapons. And then the characters are all just cosmetics, so I don't really see a point in unlocking all of these unless you really like how one looks. And the only one that I really liked how they look was a Gorgon, so I went and unlocked her like as soon as I started playing the game. But yeah, in today's video I kind of wanted to talk about my initial impressions about the game. Been out for 3 days at this point. Also, this video is going up really late because I did want to get to using the sniper rifles for this video. I didn't want to use the marksman rifle in this video because that probably would have been painful. I had to use that marksman rifle for so long. It's one of my highest level weapons currently. Not because I was getting tons of kills with it, but because I had to use it for so long in addition to getting kills and other score by doing objectives and whatnot. I managed to level up the gun higher than most of my other weapons. I was playing as cleaners because incendiary ammo is super stupid, but I think I'm actually going to go ahead and play Gorgon just because I went out of my way to unlock her in the first place. But yeah, overall, in terms of like positive things, I think this game feels really good to play. The 6v6 arcade shooter respawn experience is not, as saturated as it used to be, like years and years ago. So the few companies that do go out of their way to make games like this, Ubisoft, Call of Duty games, and Titanfall, I guess we're kind of privileged in a way because all these games feel relatively good to play. It would have been really awful for this game to come out and to have it, like shooting the guns and running around and everything to feel like just not good. Okay, let's ignore that first shot that I made. But yeah, the gunplay feels really good. Sniping, especially, for the little bit that I've been doing it, feels really nice. Oh, look at that. I unlocked it. Neat. And, there's a ton of maps in this game compared to not Modern Warfare 3, but I'm not sure how many maps Modern Warfare 3 launched because it, launched with all the original MW2 maps. But Modern Warfare 2 2022, I remember launched with not a lot of maps. And I'm pretty sure the last few Call of Duty games, before that as well, we're also starving in terms of map variety. But yeah, this game has a decent amount of maps, and there's also maps for specific game modes as well. So, a lot of the smaller, more fast-paced game modes have their own maps. Oh my god, get fucked. I remember the fact that we were spamming bolts at each other for like 30 seconds. Also, most of the guns feel viable. There's not anything off the top of my head that I can immediately think of that was like, this gun is completely pointless and useless and why would you ever use it? Except for maybe the AA-12. I haven't used it since the beta, and I remember in the beta not liking it very much. So I'll see at some point how that gun feels. But besides that, every gun that I've used has felt viable. Even the marksman rifles, which I don't really like. If you're accurate and you hit your shots, they usually two-tap. So, and these are in no particular order, by the way. I'm just like rambling off the top of my head as I usually do. But also the movement feels very good as well. You can slide cancel, and it's not like super you have to do it or else you'll be totally outclassed by movement freaks or anything like that. But it does provide, slightly faster movement than just sprinting or walking, obviously. And it's also just satisfying, and it's easy to do, which is makes it so that you're not destroying your wrists and getting arthritis by constantly having to jump cancel everywhere or slide cancel. He has a flamethrower. But yeah, one thing I will say in terms of the movement, this isn't a negative thing, but it's just something I'm pointing out, is that this game is generally more slow paced than like Modern Warfare 3 especially, but it's faster than MW2, which is, you know, a good thing because MW2 was like egregiously slow. So I think for the style of game that they're making here, they nailed the movement. You know, maybe a few things here and there can be tweaked, but I'm not that in tune with like the minutia of the game balance, whatever, to comment on what they should change. But overall, to me, I think the movement feels very nice. Look, there I am. Oh, look that. Look, it's the thing I mentioned last time, the distance slid stat. I'm gonna give it to him or her. Objective time, healing, and high KDs. Nah, I'm gonna give it to the sliding fiend. But the last thing off the top of my head that in terms of things that I like about the game is that just the general premise of the game I think is actually super cool. And I know it's Ubisoft and people like to rag on Ubisoft, and rightly so for a lot of reasons, but I think the idea of having this game be like a crossover style game where they just take all their IPs and they just put them into this like multiplayer sandbox in terms of like the theming and the maps and everything, it's really cool. I feel like more companies that have a bunch of IPs that maybe they don't use all that often should do stuff like this. Maybe it doesn't have to be like FPS games specifically, you know, and that type of thing, but just, I don't know, I like crossover games and crossover stuff generally speaking. You know, I should probably actually edit these so I can use the new sniper rifle. Let me actually place one of these. Also, the M60, I really like the M60. I remember not liking it in the beta that much, but I don't know if they changed anything about it. But yeah, I really liked using it for the little bit of time that I did. This gun, this is the gun. I fucking hate this gun. I want it to be tossed into a volcano, even though the gun is actually pretty good if you hit your shots. I'm just bad. Let me actually put the TAC 50 on. And you know, I'll go ahead and use this for this match. What game mode? Oh, it's just the hotshot game mode. I was like, what game mode am I playing? Yeah, it's kind of like a mixture of like VIP and oh, there we go. And kill confirmed, where I guess the person with the most dog tags starts contributing points to your score and you have to hold it over time. Why did they just stand there? Okay, well, whatever. Anyways, yeah, I think the TAC 50 is stronger than the other sniper, but it's obviously like way slower and heavier. I'm sprinting so much slower. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I like the other sniper rifle more, not because it's better, because like it objectively does less damage, but I just like how it looks. I love the Kar 98K so much, and apparently there's a rumor that they're gonna add the Kar 98 to Modern Warfare 3 at some point. But I mean, if that happens, that'd be really neat. Wow. I'm a complete degenerate. I just run around and throw grenades at people. But yeah, in terms of like concerns, just flipping over to the other side of this now, concerns or things that I'm like not so sure about in terms of the game. One, I kind of mentioned it earlier, but they are gonna add new weapons over time as the game is, you know, existing and whatnot. And I didn't know this, but they already added a new weapon, and it's in the battle pass. It's free. You just have to get to the point. But it's a assault rifle. I think it's called the MDR, and I have no idea how good it actually is, but yeah, they've already started adding new weapons into the game. But yeah, the overall just amount of weapons is, you know, it's not as much as some other games launch with, especially like Call of Duty. Now, granted, they obviously have the budget to, you know, develop the game more and add a whole bunch of stuff at launch. But yeah, it's not the lowest amount of weapons an FPS game has ever launched with. So I'm not going to strike that as a negative. It's more just like of a concern that I have. Oh, look at that 5 sticker grenade kills. God, I'm such a degenerate. But I mentioned it at the beginning of the video, speaking of unlocking stuff. So the weapons you can unlock relatively fast. Again, they're not tied to your account level, which is kind of odd, but they're tied to the challenges, which depending on how good or bad you are, you know, they could take not long at all, or you could be frustrated on a few of them. But for the most part, it wasn't too bad. But the thing that a lot of people have been complaining about in terms of unlocking stuff is the amount of XP it takes to level up weapons and then, you know, subsequently unlock attachments for your guns. Now, right now, there's double XP going on for the next 4 days. So the process for this will be slightly accelerated than it normally would be, but I'm not sure how this compares to like Call of Duty because I haven't leveled up a weapon in that game for a while, but I'm pretty sure it's faster than this. And there's an argument to be made whether, you know, it takes so long to get weapon XP because there's not as much weapons in the game as, you know, there are in other games. Now, I don't know where I sit on this because on one hand, it's like, it, you know, encourages you to use a gun for an extended period of time. But on one hand, the guns have tons of levels in this game. I think, I'm not sure what the highest is, but I'm pretty sure I've seen attachments that are in like the late 40s in terms of weapon levels, which is kind of crazy. You know, again, considering how long it takes to get weapon levels normally. You know, you could be just an absolute Giga Chad gamer and just drop 100 bombs every single game you play. But I get the distinct feeling that most people are not, you know, blazing through every lobby that they join. But yeah, I think if they're, you know, after a little while longer, if it comes to the consensus that, yeah, it takes too long to level up weapons in this game. I think I saw somebody mention that, you know, the camo grind, which is, there is one in this game. There's like a bronze, silver, and gold camos. And all you have to do is get kills with the weapon, or like weapon XP. And that can be grindy because that's like an aspirational, purely cosmetic thing. You know, if the devs want that to take a little longer to unlock, then that's totally fine. But yeah, I saw somebody say that if they want the camo grind to take longer, then that's fine. But maybe they could speed up the weapon leveling just, you know, a bit. Oh my god, flashbang. I love just running up to people and just spamming pistols at them. It's so BM and degenerate. That person had 16 health and they killed me. I should just delete all my videos and shut down the channel. Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest concerns or gripes people are currently having with the game. But there's a few like gameplay things that are also like, you know, questionable, and people are getting, you know, as the game is existing for a longer period of time, people are like, yeah, this shit is kind of annoying. One thing that people are complaining about is the incendiary ammo. That is the passive for the cleaners. You know, with any weapon, their bullets have a small damage over time effect. I don't think it lasts very long, but only man in the universe to get a hit marker with a TAC 50. You know, if you're at full health and somebody, you know, doesn't hit all their shots, then you'll be fine. But, you know, you get into a firefight with somebody and they're cleaner and you kill them, sometimes you still die afterwards because they have incendiary rounds just passively, which I think that's a really cool idea, but maybe they can tweak it a little bit. Another thing that I don't know if anybody else has been having like annoyances with this, but people running around with the blitz shield as the Ghost Recon Phantoms. You know, you can have the energy shield that you shoot, or you can have the deployable, what is essentially a riot shield. Yeah, people just running around and smacking you with that, and there's like almost no way to retaliate, because I'm pretty sure in Call of Duty, if you could like jump and you're high enough that you can shoot over their riot shield even if they're standing, but I don't think the jump height in this game is lends itself to that strategy particularly well. So it is an ability, so it has a cooldown and everything. And I don't know if there's a time limit to how long you can hold it out, but yeah, there have been a few games that I've played where there were people running around with the blitz shield, and I was like, please just make it stop, please. And probably the actual biggest like balance thing that they've already nerfed, I'm pretty sure, a few times in the previous betas and tests, is the healing abilities for the Libertad faction in the game. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they've nerfed this several times already at this point. But if somebody pops their ult as the Libertad and they essentially get 2 health bars instead of 1, and it's constantly auto regenerating, unless you're using a sniper, which is the one case where I've seen where I've been killed in a healing ultimate, you know, people who use the TAC 50. I don't know if they have to headshot you or not. That's the thing though. I wasn't paying that close attention, but yeah, you're like virtually unkillable unless people are constantly landing headshots every single time, or they're using a sniper or their own ultimate that does, you know, a shit ton of damage, like the flamethrower or something. Did I just wall pen that guy? I think I did. But yeah, it's so clear cut that the healing abilities of Libertad are way better than anything else that's in the game in terms of abilities. I'm not sure what further they could do to it in terms of, you know, nerfing it, or if it even constitutes a nerf and maybe I'm just being bad or whatever. But yeah, I think those are the 3 like gameplay things that people are having annoyances with. Yeah, the ADS speed on this thing with no attachments is so slow. Holy shit. Yeah, I think those are the main gripes that I have with the game, currently speaking. You know, so far it's nothing major. Maybe something in the future will come up where I'm like, oh, this makes the game absolutely shit and unplayable. But yeah, so far nothing that I'm complaining about can be fixed with like balance passes and whatnot. But one other thing that I wanted to mention is I don't know. Holy shit. I guess something else that people are also complaining about. It's not really a complaint. It's just that the game is different. But I remember this is hilarious, by the way, and sad. I love that so much. But the people are kind of like missing things like kill streaks from Call of Duty and stuff like that, considering this is, you know, like, I'll call it a Call of Duty like, for lack of a better term. On one hand, I kind of see the idea that the abilities and the passives and ultimates and whatnot are like the replacement for that, because without the kill streaks in Call of Duty, you would just be running around shooting people with guns, which is fine. But the kill streaks and the perk system in the game are what kind of make Call of Duty and separates it from just being a first-person shooter. But I feel like more so than the kill streaks, one thing that I actually wish was in the game is a perk system. I feel like it could add a decent amount of variety and like player expression and things like that. Okay, I think the game is fine without it, but if they ever did decide to add a perk system, you know, a Call of Duty-esque perk system to the game, I don't think anybody would be opposed to that. Again, though, I do see the idea of like the passives and abilities sort of being the unique twist on the FPS thing. And, you know, Call of Duty has the kill streaks and the perk system. But overall, I think this game is in a pretty decent spot. You know, this game could have been totally disastrous and a buggy, unplayable mess full of imbalanced horseshit at launch, but it came out in a pretty decent state, I would say. You know, there's a few things here and there that myself and other people would probably want to see changed in the future, but I think it could have been a lot worse. Also, I don't know if this is just like me having placebo or whatnot, but I feel like I'm still getting shot around corners occasionally. And, you know, maybe it's just me not being aware of how like big my player model actually is and how it actually sticks around corners, even though visually, in terms of my view, it looks like I'm behind the wall. But yeah, if you feel like you're getting shot around corners, then definitely let me know, because I'm kind of not super sure, again, whether it's placebo or whether I'm actually being shot around corners and whatnot. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and end the video there. If you did enjoy this video and want to help support the channel, then leaving a like and subscribing would be very much appreciated. Oh yeah, I should mention, totally off the cuff, random, non-related, Street Fighter 6 recently had an update. You know, they added Akuma and a new stage and a whole bunch of other stuff, which Akuma is super hype and sick, and they literally gave him all the coolest shit in the game. It's insane. But they also added a thing to the game where you could take different music from the game and you can play it during matches, so you don't have to use the stage's music or your character's own music only. You know, you can have music from any character in the game and other places in the game, and you can play that during matches. And you could also unlock music. You know, they had like battle passes and stuff that had music in it, and I don't think you could play that during matches. You were only able to play that, like, I guess, walking around the battle hub and whatnot. But they recently added the ability to also have all that music, which is from, like, you know, all the older games stuff. You can play it during matches now. So, and even if you didn't do the battle passes that had that music in it, you can buy the like music packs that have music from each game with the in-game currency, and obviously you can also pay real money for it. But yeah, this is it's such a good feature, because I don't know about anybody else, but I like the music in Street Fighter 6. You know, I think a lot of the music is pretty good, but there are some songs that I'm like, I don't want to listen to this. Like JP's theme, I'm not really a big fan of JP's theme. Not that I play JP, so I would probably never hear it anyways. But yeah, having all the music from all the Street Fighter games and even non-Street Fighter stuff playable during matches is, oh, it's so good. And you can even make playlists for it too. Oh, it's so good. But yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling now. This video is going on for way too long. But anyways, later.